Today we're going to learn about The Finest Fish. It's a 2 to 4 player strategic tile placement game where each player gets to choose their own little fish board and build onto it by adding scales, as you can see here, to fill up their fish, to design the most beautiful fish and win the competition. To do that, you'll be adding scales in specific ways. You'll be drafting from piles in the middle, and as you add scales to your fish, you're going to want to pay attention to 3 different methods of scoring. You can complete pattern cards, which must be purchased and owned in order to score points. You can also create clusters of scales. You can see there's 3 adjacent white scales here forming a cluster. Kitty corner doesn't count. Here's another cluster of 3. And then you can also score points by adding black scales. They're special, they're bonus points because a calico goldfish is a special thing. You will not find black scales in any of these pattern cards. They're just special, they're bonus points on the side. So completing patterns, adding clusters of scales, same color scales, and having black scales are the 3 different ways to score. On your turn, you will choose from one of the available piles. This is set up as a 2-player game. Each player has their own fish. There will be 1 pile of scales for each player. Whoever has the start token will go first and choose which pile they want. And as they add it to their fish, you have a lot of options. You can choose to just add those scales as they are. You can also trade anything here with whatever's in the fishbowl. So maybe I want to trade this one and get this scale. That's great. Anything you put in the fishbowl is now going to be available for other players, so pay attention to that. Finally, you can use these scales to buy these objective cards or pattern cards that I mentioned before. So I see that I'm set up here to have this pattern now that I've traded for this scale. So I'll go ahead and place that one on my fish and tuck it in there neatly. I'm going to spend this scale by putting it in the fishbowl to buy 1 card. Now I've purchased this pattern. I also have it completed. I'll save that for later. You don't have to have it completed to buy it. Maybe you want to just be prepared. But I've done it just in case here. And then I love black scales. They score extra points. So I'm just going to tuck that somewhere on my fish so I can have it for later. That's an example turn. It's pretty straightforward. You'll continue like that in rounds until someone fills out their fish completely, at which point you'll finish the round and you'll tally up the 3 different methods of scoring to determine who has created the finest fish.